like most people. Like, did that have any? Has that had any like effect on your songwriting at all? Or any like like knowing what you can do in the studio? Like, has that like made you look at any songs differently, or do you still put like the live performance first and then see what we can do afterwards? You know,
Good question. To be
yeah, it's a good
honest,
question.
though,
Told you.
Not bad, not bad,
I know.
mate.
but I think you're going to be disappointed with the answer. Because to be honest, I don't think it has changed my
Fuck
songwriting
you! How
method.
dare you?
No, just because I like the excitement of going into the studio and not knowing what we're going to do with the songs. And I love
Nice.
that moment
Yeah.
where we get like, we always do the guitar bit first and then the
Brilliant.
vocal like bass track, don't we? And then we sit down and we're like, right. And that's my favorite bit where we're both just like thinking of ideas and you're coming up with all of your harmonies because you're mint at harmonies. And I don't know, I feel like if I planned it and I was like, oh, this would sound good with this and this, it wouldn't be as exciting.
Spontaneous. Yeah.
I
remember one
live
time.
for spontaneity.
Yeah, speaking about spontaneity, I remember one time I was like bored on a Saturday afternoon, and I was like, I messaged Eve, and I was like, "Are you up to anything?" And she was like, "No, not really." I was like, "Do you want to come and like go in the studio, or whatever, and work on these songs?" She's like, "Yeah, right." Then so she spontaneously came over. She bought some biscuits, so that's always good.
Yes, that's always good.
I think she bought like
For those that are watching this podcast, Eve can make some fucking amazing biscuits,
and
you know,
cake.
and cake.
Yeah.
We've sampled many a biscuits and cake.
Many a biscuit.
Even though I've not been here some of the time, they've always saved me some. So yeah,
I know we do love you, really.
yeah.
And by sampled, he means snaffled.
Snap.
Pretty much. Yeah, they've not lasted long at all. They are that good.
Can I go back to my?
Yes, sorry.
Thank you.
So so Eve would come over, and she was only here for about 3 or 4 hours because she had to go out in the evening for a meal or something. And she was like, I want marimbas. I want marimba.
Oh, yeah, I remember the marimba.
So he spent 4 hours putting this marimba in for her. And then she got to the end and she goes, I don't think I like marimbas. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh man, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was like, fuck God.
But that's the beauty of it, because sometimes me and Rich can be in the studio and we can be working like for hours on end on like a 4-bar or an 8-bar beat. And then after spending hours and hours and hours on it, we just go, nah, and scrap it. You know, and that
can be the way.
Yeah, but so, you know, sometimes that you get that in the studio, but like you say, getting in the studio, not knowing what's going to happen, sometimes the best things happen.
How did you find recording to like? 'Cause I know you don't normally do stuff in like rhythm because you do your own loosey goosey type crap with your
loosey goosey crap.
And
That's a brilliant analogy.
And how did you find when you were recording Fingerprints and Cranberry in the studio? How did you like find with all that shit going on? Because obviously there's like synths and orchestras and drums and everything going on, basses everywhere doing weird shit.
Yeah, no, that didn't put me off at all, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. I felt like, I don't know, because it's so different to what I normally do. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I felt like, it kind of felt like I was an imposter, I'm not going to lie, but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
It's
I still can't get my head around. I don't feel like I suit them, but then other people say it sounds good, so it's fine, I guess. But like,
well, they're the weird songs, like they're not like what we would usually do, but we just when we got cancelled on like 3 or 4 times or whatever, we were just like, oh, fuck it, we'll get someone else. And I immediately was like, you know, just try Eve, because I was just thinking like
sly.
Thank you. I was just thinking about the Massive Attack and more Chiba type sound where they don't have like traditional sounding like women singing on their records, and it just works really well, the kind of trip hop type stuff. And that's kind of like a lot of the inspiration for the album is that weirdness of trip hop. And I just thought, you know what, I reckon it'll sound really fucking good. So we tried Fingerprints and it was just so good. We're just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So then when I did Cranberry, and we were like, should we get? And then I showed it to you, so we worked on it, and then we like, should we ask you to sing on it again? Because my vocals weren't working.
Because that song kind of like came quite late on.
Yeah, really late on
in this album, whereas the majority of the songs are sort of like a year, 2, 3 years old. Whereas Cranberry, it was very fresh. It was new, and the beat when it drops and that bass and then obviously you've put them vocals on it, and it's just like, this is just fucking cracking.
Yeah, it's a really good tune.
I love both of the songs, but I feel like even though there was all that stuff going on, they still both have a lot of freedom, like in the vocals. So I didn't feel like restricted, I guess. But
no, I mean, we want you to come and do what you do, which was like, you know, because I'd sent you. I remember like when I knew I was like, this is gonna be great, was when I'd sent you the first, like I think I sent you the first a draft of Fingerprints or me singing the vocals for you. I think you sent me something back of you, or I heard you sing it the first time. I was like, she's changed pretty much everything. Like, it's just, every note is different. Like, it's a similar, it follows a similar sort of line, but like, it's all, and I was like, yeah, this is going to sound great, because that's what I wanted. I didn't want someone just to copy what I was doing. I wanted someone to come and bring their personality to the song. So I was really pleased. I was like, yeah, fucking A, right? Yeah.
I think that's part of your uniqueness, Eve.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
You bring your own personality to pretty much every song you sing on. So whether it's ours or whether it's your own, it's you.
Honestly, guys, you got to check.
It doesn't sound like anything else.
You got to check her album out when it's done. It's just amazing.